If you're feeling tired or stressed, maybe that Kit Kat bar just not cutting it anymore for your breaks. If my hook for this video is actually stressing you out, then you need to come soak in all the rock work that we did at North America's largest nature spa. And I'm traveling all the way to Chelsea, Quebec, where we're gonna dive deep into Spa Nordik.
So when the Nordik Spa actually called, it felt like such an honor. This is the largest spa in North America. And the very cool part was that the former police officer that started it really had a grassroots starting. And that felt very cool to be part of such a visionary piece of history, because it will go down in history as one of the greatest spas of all time.
It has over 100,000 square feet of relaxation space. There's multiple thermal pools, there's multiple saunas, there's cold plunges, there's just relaxation zones. I loved coming in the morning and all the staff are getting the fireplaces ready with all the natural wood smell and the smoke. It's just such a general experience that I highly recommend. A big part of why we were brought in is that nobody matches real rock with artificial rock like we do.
So the first thing that they actually came to us was about this incredible giant cave. Not sure how much I can go into detail into it, so I won't. But while we were waiting for permits they were thinking about the first for a redesign, they came up with this idea of like, oh, actually, we have this giant poured wall that we did against this natural face, and we haven't figured out the finish for it. We don't like the idea of like tiling up against it or wood. It just doesn't look like it. Can you match the real stone? So of course we did some samples. We did match the real stone, and they got us working on the yoga studio and the sauna right away. One of the very cool elements of the sauna was that they want to have a water element. Something where people can actually take that cup of water, put it over the hot stones, and really get that nice steam effect that wouldn't probably be part of a traditional dry heat sauna, but something I grew up with at my cottage where we did that all the time. We didn't like a traditional steam room. We didn't like the perfect dry heat of a typical sauna, and this was that perfect in between. And it brought me back to the days of my cottage, the sauna my grandfather built way back in the day. So really felt like we were with people that understood how important details were and a large vision. And Antoine, the designer, did such a fantastic job, so detail oriented, and the mesh of the wood working against the stone. I just love the collaboration. I love the final look. And then they picked lighting. This was the first time I truly loved color lighting, and it got me into that, creating all these sorts of moods and totally different effects.
Very interesting project for us. I love, obviously, the amount of waterfalls. That's such a joy to see and to experience and to hear. And overall, what a peaceful, calming spot. And because it's so peaceful, there's also people that are literally dedicated there. They're called shushers, and they have signs that say shush. If you're talking too loud, they come around and they shush you. So there was no stats, I asked, but there was no stats on how many people get shushed a day. But what do you think the over-under is on, 50-year-old white women?
What did you say?
I'm going to assume it's probably pretty high per day, but that's me.
Every rock guy and every health nut has envisioned building their own sauna, but rarely do you get to work up against this natural cliff face that in Chelsea is absolutely gorgeous, with quite unique coloring and that beautiful granite texture with a lot of fissures and deep cracks that we wanted to maintain in the design in building it itself. And I absolutely love getting worked with that stone. So one of the key factors for the design that they did was that they really needed to mimic the natural wall that they poured up against. This was really important so that it felt like guests were fully immersed and they understood the outdoor elements were coming in and that they can really connect with nature.
So one of the cool ways that they used the rock and the rock that we built was that the rock is actually also fantastic for dampening sound. So when you have a situation like we did where there's multiple zones dedicated to different forms of relaxation, they were able to use the natural stone and then continue with our stone to really make those zones dampen from each other's sound. So that was a really neat kind of aspect and something that they were thinking about.
Anytime you're immersed with nature, I think it just creates a sense of calm, and I think the designers really understood that, and so that's why they really wanted to add the natural rock to that section. Honestly, couldn't help but agree. Once we started those projects, they immediately began stacking a few things that they wanted from us. One of them being to hide all these ugly pipes that were coming out of the side of this pool, this retaining wall pool. So we immediately got to work on that as well. They did all sorts of staircases and stepping stones that we had to work our way through and in. And honestly, loved the final look of that. That's some of my favorite and probably best finished work that I've ever done, was next to this real rock right into the pool. Everybody was quite impressed with the final turnout. And before we finished that, they brought us over to the other side to begin 2 hot tubs, 2 rock spas, which are some of my favorite things that I've ever built to this day. And we'll go into detail on those in another video. One of the most challenging parts of this entire project was there was no way to actually get our panels or our material in place. We actually had to carry everything down a set of stairs. And 2, I will say working at night comes with a lot of challenges. We say this all the time, is by the end of it, I never wanted to do it again. It feels like you're just never getting as much done as you would like. And it doesn't feel like the effort day to day is worth it. But we totally understand. They had a business to run. They were paying for it by customers coming during the day. It's supposed to be a relaxing space. They don't want these loud noises, drills, saws, and all the rest making all this noise while they are trying to relax at a spa. Now, one of the things that they presented us with, we still haven't even gotten to build because they have not done it. They have so many plans in place and they do so much, and they have such a big picture vision that they really are trying to facilitate as many people in an affordable way. But they had a really cool vision, and that wellness for everybody so that it's affordable for everybody really connected with the rest of us, especially as we go through our own health journeys. I'm sure you guys do too, as you're trying to take care of yourself. When you find out how incredible saunas and cold plunges are and all the different elements that they have, like being close to water, getting to hear water running, you'll start to get the understanding of why I love that space so much.
As we've talked about many times before, Chelsea, Quebec is no different when it comes to climate, and it can sometimes receive some pretty harsh climates. And this really is what we've designed our product for, because there's no difference from where we are here at home near Toronto, where we developed our system in order to withstand everything that Canadian weather can throw at it. So we're able to take our structural precast panels that are already curated shop, we're able to put them up, and it'll withstand every single element there is. And at a place like the spa, where there's a lot of cold air mixed with hot air, steam coming off the hot springs, the pools, the saunas, plus the Canadian weather, because they're open all year round, that's what makes us different from everybody else, because our work can take the punishment. We've talked a lot about all the little things that we've done at the spa. There's more to come. We're actually splitting this up. We've done so much there, we're going to split it up to a multiple part video. But don't take our word for it. Go to the spa, visit it, see for yourself, feel the relaxation, feel all the elements of nature. That's what it's all about. And if you like this kind of content, then please make sure you throw a thumbs up, maybe give us a follow there, and oh wow, maybe even a share if we're really gonna let our hair down. That would be wonderful. But otherwise, all I have to say is exciting new video coming up. On to the next.